Recording is in progress. Hey, I didn't have my speakers up and I don't have my earbuds in. Brandon, once again, is on assignment. I'm Daryl Snyder, Fantasy Sports Logic, and this is our daily deeper dive videos. You'll have my neurotrophy glasses on. I did session number 494 today, 6-minute session. They're one of our sponsors. Go to the YouTube channel, the same place you're watching this video. Check out, I think I have 2 or 3 sessions that I've recorded there. Nice little 6-minute brain training, opens up neural pathways. It's the #1 cognitive training platform in the world, used by elite athletes, special forces type organizations, NASA, US military fighter pilots, Navy SEALs, Canadian version of the FBI, Manchester United, a lot of sports teams. I am probably the most average non-athlete, non-special forces. I guess I'm considered kind of a brain athlete. I like poker, been doing better. Another one of our partner sponsors that we'll be announcing, Club WPT. Some exciting things going there. I'm a Diamond Club member. Anyways, check out NeuroTracker, code FSL, will get you 20% off, neurotrackerx.com. You'll see the link when you go to the YouTube channel. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Hopefully you're having an amazingly awesome, super spectacular Tuesday. Again, this is our daily deeper, our yeah, it is our daily deeper video podcast where we take a daily deeper dive into our partnership with Ballpark Pal. I'm going to show you some charts here in a minute. I'm going to play this video real quick. Hold on.
Sports Logic, they're groundbreaking. They're in documents. And up to 8 live player projection data in over 50,000 simulated outcomes. This is the secret weapon you've been waiting for. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, the contrarian with multiple pros, you need the flexibility to tailor it to your needs. And here's the best part: one price covers all sports and upgrades. MLB, NFL, NBA, we've got you covered. To experience the power of Fantasy Sports Logic, get started today with our exclusive 7-day test drive for only $1. Join our NFL game with satisfied players who will every month with the 30 and edge optimizer. Visit fantasysportslogic.com now.
Very cool. And then I would strongly advise, that's about our 7-day test drive, $1. I'll show you the Contrarian Edge Optimizer here in a few minutes after I go through the Ballpark Pal charts. Ballpark Pal is one of our 7 live player projection feed partners. They simulate any given MLB event, as today, massive 14-game slate. They simulate it up to 3,000 times. During your test drive, if you choose to do so, it's $1. These are some of the features, this little video here, and then I'll go right into the charts.
Welcome to the Fantasy Sports Logic Contrarian Edge Optimizer. During your 7-day test drive, we'll help you unlock the full potential of our powerful tool. Getting different with Contrarian on or off mode. Our Contrarian Edge Optimizer allows you to optimize your lineups based on different strategies. Experiment with the Contrarian on or off mode to see how it affects your player selections and lineup construction. Understanding the multiple live player projection feeds and the SSL exclusive blend. We provide you with multiple live player projection feeds from our world-class data partners, each offering unique insights. Explore these feeds and take advantage of the SSL exclusive blend, a proprietary projection blend designed to give you an edge. General team stacking option. Maximize your chances of success by utilizing the team stacking option. This feature enables you to select players from the same team, capitalizing on their collective performance. Multiple lineup generator and FSL exclusive feed 150 max lineup generators. Generate multiple lineups effortlessly using our powerful lineup generator. Within each of the 7 feeds, you can create multiple lineups tailored to your preferences. Additionally, all of our feeds offer up to 150 max lineup generator, allowing for extensive lineup variation. Understanding multiple pro settings options. Customize your optimization process with our multiple pro settings options. Fine-tune various parameters such as player exposure, risk tolerance, and more to align with your preferred strategy. Uploading your lineups in CSV to DraftKings, FanDuel, or Yahoo. Once you've generated your ideal lineups, conveniently upload them in CSV format to popular daily fantasy sports platforms like DraftKings, FanDuel, or Yahoo. One-time opportunity for upgrading to VIP All Access Package. During your 7-day test drive, you have a unique chance to upgrade to our VIP All Access Package. With one price and one-time payment, you'll gain access to all sports and future upgrades, unlocking the full potential of our optimizer. Remember, our support team is here to assist you throughout your test drive. Explore the features, optimize your lineups, and maximize your fantasy sports success with the Fantasy Sports Logic Contrarian Edge Optimizer. www.fantasysportslogic.com.
There you go, some of our partners, I'll talk about them. Congratulations to Adrian yesterday. He was the only person, I put this out on Twitter and LinkedIn. I said the first 5 people that watched the video and liked the Twitter post, reposted it, followed me on Twitter, or liked the LinkedIn post, shared the post, that told me through a direct message who the player of the day was yesterday, received a free month. And since Adrian was the only one to do it, I surprised him. I gave him a VIP lifetime membership. He even was kind enough to message me and say, hey, I want to be honest, you said I would get a free month, you gave me a lifetime one. And I said, that's my gift to you. You were the only one yesterday. So today's another day. Congratulations to Adrian. I look forward to connecting with him and guiding him through all the cool features. So I'm going to do the same thing today. The pick yesterday was JD Davis. My pick to click of that game, the Giants-Reds game. I like Slater, he homered. I like Flores, he homered. But I gave out JD Davis. He is coming to bat in the resumption of the suspended game today. It won't count towards the fantasy. DraftKings, once the game was suspended, they just tallied the points. Webb had a nice game. He didn't get credit for the victory, but there's 2 guys on, second, third. Davis is at bat with 1 out, so it'll be interesting to see. It's a different day, so obviously different mindset. But he could have clicked in that at bat yesterday. But today, another day, I will do the same. I'm going to give out a pick to click. I will guarantee a month free membership of the Contrarian Edge Optimizer to anybody that watches the video and gives out today's play of the day. And I'll be honest, I haven't even looked at enough of the data. We're going to look at it together and I'll give it out. And I'll be nice. Yesterday I did 5 and only 1 person. Today I will give out 2 free. To 2 people, I'll give out a free month. But here's our daily deeper dive podcast. Ballpark Pal charts for Tuesday, July 18th. Our partner, Ballpark Pal, provides one of the feeds on the optimizer. I'll show you of the 7 partners, but he also allows me to access every morning, 5:30 in the AM out here in the West Coast. I download these charts. This video will be placed on this link. You can access this blog every day through our main site, or you can follow on Twitter. I post there on Twitter or LinkedIn. Twitter, it's fslogic.com, or I'm sorry, twitter.com/fslogic. LinkedIn, I believe I have a Fantasy Sports Logic business page as well as my personal Daryl Snyder page where a lot of people follow me. Hold on a second there, you're going to hear that unless I shut the window. You can tell I don't hear it. I stay in Southern Cal and I have the screens open. Let's look at the chart. You can see daily home run projections, daily fantasy report, ballpark pal starting pitcher preview, and one of my favorites, the stadium report. Again, Aaron at ballparkpal.com runs 3,000 simulations every day. Today, Luis Robert, he is the top player projected to hit a home run. We got some nice matchups, 27, almost 28% probability to hit a homer today. His matchup against Carlos Carrasco of the Mets, who's been prone to give up a long ball or two, is a boost of 23%. The park today in New York warmed up on the East Coast as it has almost everywhere except in Chicago. We'll point that out. Looks like it's a little cooler and the wind might be coming in off the lake out of the north. But you got Luis Robert, Joey Votto against my Giants, Anthony D. Sclafani is coming off the DL, a former Red, so he's got motivation to pitch well. But that park, besides Coors Field, and I get to that, one of the higher projected run totals of the day in the 14-game slate. Votto 16% matchup boost against D. Sclafani. Sure, they played together. Votto has been there a long time. The park again 42%. So 25 and 1 and 4 Votto hitting a homer. Willie Adame is always a solid pick. In Philly, another park against Nola. Nola, he's a good pitcher, but I think he's gotten roughed up the last time or two. Ohtani, he homered last night. I read that sparked the Angels, had a crazy bat flip. Always a good pick in Irvine down there, Los Angeles. It's actually in Anaheim, I'm sorry. The train stops there right across from the park. You take the Amtrak or the Surfliner here in Southern Cali, and you could witness, if you can get there tonight, Ohtani, 1 in 4 chance to hit another homer. And Schwarber, we talk about him, almost 25% chance, 1 in 4 against Julio Teheran. Been around a long time, making a nice comeback with the Brewers. Schwarber is one of those feast or fathom type guys that he gets a connection. He's got a high likelihood of going out of the park. He had 3 strikeouts against Snell, and then they replaced Snell, the Padres, with Martinez last week. First pitch from Martinez, 413 feet. Schwarber deposited over the fence. Jock Peterson, Conforto, nice matchups. Elway, Jay, and Davis. Looks like a giant stack in that originally scheduled game after the suspended game. That suspended game starts at 2:30 Pacific, but it was in the 8th. So and then after that, probably regularly scheduled, I'd say 7:05 Eastern, 4:05. The Giants looking like a nice 4-game stack or 4-team stack. Feel free to review this. There's a lot of good insights. Here's the daily fantasy report. I do want to say yesterday was the first time, if you play DraftKings, I like to, they have a max $3 $150. They've made quite attractive. Last night it was 100,000 total with 10,000 up top, and the $15 max 150 with 100,000 up top. It's the first time in both of those that I have seen or I have witnessed the winner not stacking. In the 3rd place on one, and I think the 2nd place on the other. They did stack. The optimal stack that I saw was 5 Indians, 3 Nationals, and then the 2 pitchers. Pavetta for Boston against the A's, he had like 40-some points. He pitched lights out. I don't think anybody predicted that, but some people did play him. Webb had another a nice game. So I think those are the 2 optimal pitchers with the stack. So you want to look at stacks a lot. I say 90-some plus percent they end up in the winner's circle. Last night was one of the rare times they didn't, but Josh Engelman does a nice podcast. He's a part of, I'm not sure if I'll say it right, Stochastic. He was one. he got third place with that stack, and I know I watched his little 8-minute stack podcast, and he liked the Guardians, I think, is right behind the Tigers. Tigers didn't come through, Guardians did. I don't think he had the Nationals anywhere, but he ran a little mini with some of the bats in Wrigley Field. So congrats to him. Anyways, here's the DFS report. You can see Aaron breaks it down by position. Elway J, I like to call him Lamont Wade Jr. He's DraftKings projected 10 points. The Discord's going off in the background. Should have muted that, but yeah, I guess I could turn it down now that I don't need to know if you guys will hear that still or not. I guess it doesn't matter. But anyways, Fados and Steer, a couple of reds at first base. The blue is FanDuel. The green is DraftKings projections for the day. It likes Kim at second, Horner and Albies, Coven Gray. There is Ellie De La Cruz. He had some great defense yesterday. He's been mired in a hitting slump. I don't know. Normally when a rookie comes up, it takes a while, but they spot some weaknesses, and I think they're trying to pitch him a certain way, and he hasn't adjusted. But today he's projected to perhaps pop out of that slump against my Giants. Got another red and a giant, Patrick Bailey. It looks, I haven't seen the total. I bet that total 10.5, 11 for that Reds Giants game. So DeSclafani against who is the pitcher? We'll see when we get down to the pitcher report here for the Reds, but obviously they're favoring the hitters. Otani, and then you can look at the pitchers here. Nola, he is projected almost 25 points on DraftKings. Woo in Seattle, he's had a great year. Almost 20 points over for the Twins at 19. I'm not sure how to say his name. I'll say Giolito for the White Sox, 17, and you can see a lot of people like Skubal for the Tigers. If they stretch him out today, he's been pitching well, but he's been limited like 4 or 5 innings. I don't know if he'd want much more, but if he's stretched out, I like him as well. They're projecting him at about 16 on DraftKings, FanDuel almost 30. There's Carrasco for the Mets. And then the outfield, Jock and Conforto, a couple of Giants stick out, 1 and 4 there. Acuna, you can never go wrong if you can fit him into your lineup. He's 6,000 something, probably 6,300. And then a few more Reds. So it looks like that could be some fireworks in that Giants Reds game. Here's the pitching matchups. What Aaron does, that's the Ballpark Pal creator, he throws grades in here. In the middle section, it's grading the performance of over the last 1,000 pitches, the preferred pitch of the pitcher. Tehran, you can see not so good on his sinker, a D-. Cutter looks like a D or a C. That yellow is a little bit hard to read for me. And then maybe a C- on a slider. So he's projected about average, pitched a little over 5 innings, gets you maybe 4 strikeouts, but Nola in the matchup against the Brewers, who are prone to striking out, you can see pretty nice grades except for the sinker. It looks like you want to stay away from that. I said that about Webb yesterday. He had A, and his sinker grade was C-, and the home run he gave up first or second inning wasn't a smash at right field for Cincinnati, but anyways, it was on a sinker that didn't sink. It stayed up, and he gave up the only run of the game on a homer. So it looks like Nola, same thing. Might want to stay away from the sinker, but he's projected at almost 9 strikeouts, which is really nice. I'm sure he'll be popular on the slate. You can look, I don't want to read through all these. It'll take me forever. I try to keep this thing 30-minute range. Woo, talked about him. Nice overall grades, AA, and nice over the last 1,000 pitches. A-, slider a B, or sinker a B, slider A-. It could be one of your late night hammers as a pitcher, almost 7 strikeouts. There's Skubal, over 6 strikeouts. We'll see what his price is when we get to the optimizer. Definitely like him. Cabrera for the Marlins, I believe, against the Cardinals, projected at 6. He's got a nice grade. Some of these guys with red, Montgomery, his sinker and his change. I think he's got to rely on the cutter, right? Otherwise, he could be in some trouble against, I believe it's the Marlins there. I think that's Cabrera. Corbin, always prone to giving up a long ball, facing the Cubs, but I'll show you the ballpark is not like it normally is this time of the year. The cold front must have went through there, and like it's going to be in the 70s. Anyways, check this out. Great information, whether you're doing DFS prop plays and you want to look at an over-under on strike total, or shall I say more or less, they have to say on most of the sites because it's fantasy prop plays, not gambling. You can use that chart for that sort of information. Here's the ballparks. Coors Field always this time of the year, plus almost 40% runs tonight. Houston and Colorado. Home runs 34% boost, doubles, triples a 33% boost, singles 12%. So looking at that, I would imagine that's probably a 12.5, probably first ahead of the next ballpark Giants Reds that I talked about. 20% or 19%, almost 20% boost. Great America Ballpark, winds blowing out, 36% home run boost. Why you saw a lot of Giants and Reds. Little 8% doubles and triples, not much in singles because I think everything lifted into the air is probably favored to go for more than a single. Pittsburgh PNC, little 10% boost. Philly, a 9% boost, but 27% in the home runs. That's why a guy like Schwarber was listed on an earlier chart. So you can look here, I go to the opposite end, and there's Wrigley. Look, wind definitely blowing in off the lake, so it'll knock down a lot of fly balls that normally get that boost this time of the year. We're blowing out over Waveland and Sheffield Avenue. 5% less doubles and triples. So you might want to look at that game today. Look at the pitchers. I think Corbin was susceptible. Doesn't mean they still can't hit it out of Wrigley. Not a huge ballpark, but take more of a line drive instead of a fly ball. Looks like the wind will knock it down. 9% overall. Bush is the second lowest. Texas the third lowest. Oakland always a tough place to play. Again, last night Oakland's they just having a bad year. They don't have a lot of talent left there. They traded Olson and Murphy and a lot of their talent away, and they are struggling. Last night shut out. Here's our partnership, Ballpark Pal. Currently, as I said, one of our 8-player projection partners. We have 7 in a proprietary, a little tongue twisted this morning, blend that I'll show you. If you try out the optimizer for 7 days, $1, Drafters was on with their owner this morning. They've gifted us a free $20, more than one. While they last, if you take the optimizer test drive, for $1, you'll get a free $20 entry into their $2 million best ball style contest with a $300,000 first prize. That's for NFL. There's still 6-7 weeks left before the season, I believe. When you do that, I'll contact you and make sure you get that. So that's a nice, just for trying it, and you don't have to upgrade. There's no automatic upgrade. People ask, I get emailed, hey, I don't know if I want to upgrade. I said, you're not going to get forced to. If you want to, and you really love what you see, which I know you will. It's $29.97 a month currently, or while we're in beta, lifetime, one time, one price, all sports. Right now we have baseball, MLB baseball. We will be adding NFL football, NBA, probably golf, and who knows what others. I'll let your Adrian that won a whole lifetime subscription last night. It's only $299.97, which for what I'm going to show you, I think the value is unparalleled, but I could be biased. I do know a little bit about the other one, so check them out. There are some great ones. It's all about pricing and value. And the goal when I started this company was to make something that just had overwhelming value at a price that the masses could afford, like $1 a day. If you do it monthly, a lot less than that. If you get the lifetime 7-player projection partner fees, I mean, plus a blend. And I'm not talking just any partners. Baker, 10,000 simulations of any given MLB game. They will also be a football partner. They were a basketball partner. Ballpark Pal, that's Aaron, just talking about 3,000 simulations. FTM Data, Frank, 40,000 simulations. RotoWire, they've been around for a long time. One of the stalwarts in the industry. They provide feeds to ESPN, DraftKings, FanDuel, SiriusXM, but I'm sure I'm leaving others out. They have a nice business model. They are a partner of ours. Sport Radar with Dan Williams, been around a long time. I won't say he's old. He's not like me, but he's a veteran. Sports Data IO, they are the legacy providers with Charles there. They also provide us with the Baker and Stats Perform with Corey. They've been around since the 80s. Combined, you're getting access to over 100 years of daily data projection providers. Say that, like Mary Pickle Piper Peter or whatever, I can't even say, but it's a tongue twister. You can see the feeds for the day. Scubal, I'm sure he's had some nicknames. Tariq, we talked about him. Nice price, 8,400. Some ownership, almost 24%, but he's projected to have a nice game. Brian Wu, I talked about him as well. Seattle, I like him. Very affordable, 7,900. Some ownership, probably the highest owned pitcher today because of the pricing. The zeros are because it hasn't been updated yet. FP1 is the Baker. So these will populate. We update every 30 minutes. You'll see there it's counting down. There's an early slate games today. Everything, the 14-game slate all goes off. Starts with the East Coast games around 4:05 Pacific, 7:05 Eastern. But who else sticks out price-wise? 8,700. Herman, he had a no-hitter against the Angels. Not sure I like him. Avaldi against Tampa Bay, 10-3. The ownership's down, so definitely be different. Paying up. Musgrove, if Brandon was with us, he's a big Musgrove fan. He's probably looking at that 9,600. Not a lot of ownership, some solid projections across the board. Again, this is our blend of our 7 partners. Who else is a pitcher? Keller had a decent year against Cleveland, the Guardians last night, as I had talked about earlier. They were the staff, the 5-team staff. So Keller is sort of feast and famine. You can see not getting hardly any ownership projection. The highest projected provider, we have Sports Radar. Lincoln Keller could go as high as almost 19. The rest are pretty conservative. So what about player positions? There's DeSclafani against Cincinnati, 6,400, and so far, not much ownership. Patrick Corbin, talked about him, even though he's in a favorable ballpark tonight against the Cubs. 6,300. Could take a flyer again. Not a lot of people projecting him well, but as normal, one of the highest position players, Acuna. You saw he was projected to pop playing Arizona. He's 6,600, right? He's higher than Luke Weaver, the pitcher for the Reds. You'll see these position players are higher than the pitchers. He's just shy of Manoah for Toronto against the Padres. So De La Cruz, talked about him maybe jumping out of the slump. I hope not against my Giants, but not that I don't wish him well overall. 6,500. There's my man JD, 4,100. I think that's a good price. Conforto. I love Conforto. In fact, I'm going to take Conforto, another Giant, as my player to pop today. Looks like he's batting in the cleanup spot. Been hitting the ball decent the last couple of days. Weather favorable, right field is a short porch. And with that wind going out, I'm thinking Conforto he could have a home run and maybe a multiple RBI day. So there you are. If you're watching the video and you like the Twitter post and you retweet it and you follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. I don't have a lot of followers. Just really started doing this. And then you DM me and say your pick of the day is Michael Conforto. The first two to do that, I'll be nice. The first three to do that, I give it a month for free of the optimizer, and I give you some special personal tutoring on some of the things I'm going to show you here. So, okay, Tatis, blah, blah, blah. What am I going to do? Let's lock in Scuball. I'll call him Screwball, but I'll figure out the correct way. You can see things are calculating. This thing is, I mean, with all these providers, it's literally working on over 1 million different possibilities with 14 games. You can see it locked him in. I like the stack. We are about to go. It's there. We haven't promoted it prime time. It's called our stack attack. It's going to automate across the board. Today it's across 14 games. Put it in auto mode, right? You can see it's off right now. I'm going to turn it on as soon as it's started to calculate. I have it set on 2. I'm going to go to 5. I like 5 across 14 games. One of the games, probably the Reds, Giants, or the Rockies, Astros. Those are the 2 highest totals on the slate. They could be probably the most favorable stacks, although Angels with Ohtani, never bad, although Trout's out. Let's see what it says. It's still working. It's gonna take some time. This thing doesn't like throw everything out there automatically really fast because of so many options. Okay, it's ready for 2, but I'm gonna flip it to 5. Let it do some more calculating. You see it doing it here. On contrarian mode, you can turn that off or on. That's going to tend on your stacking to get you a little different. If more and more people learn about stacking, which they are, and if you're like everybody else, not the best way to be. Sometimes the most obvious stack, all the power hitters, if you can fit them in with pitchers, you get a little different. Last night, as I had mentioned earlier, Josh, he got different with the Nationals. Chose 3 nice bats with the 5 Cleveland stack and worked out great. Okay, attack mode is off. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to hit generate lineups. Let's see what it gives us here. Again, it's working. I'm going to have a little some sort of an icon in there to let you know. A lot of people, the refreshing one, and get to go through over 1 million possibilities in a split second. It's getting faster and faster, but because of the complexity, if you can imagine, there's 8 live player projection feeds. Our proprietary blend of the 7, and then obviously the 7. So let's see what it's going to pop up with here. Patience is the virtue. Somebody said that long ago. I'm going to look at some of this other. It's the first time I looked at it. I've had a busy Tuesday morning. That's Cabrera. I talked about him. He's out. So must be another pitcher coming in for Miami. This will update throughout the day. If you happen to love what you see and jump in to do the test. Elder of Atlanta against Arizona. Low ownership, 7,800. What else? Taj Bradley for Tampa Bay, younger pitcher. He's had some decent success, but I don't know if Texas is the place I want to test the water. There we go. What did we come up with? I locked in Scuball. Looks like it likes Woo. It likes Paxton. I mean, picking on Oakland. Yeah, but picking on Oakland. Definitely. I didn't know. What was he projected? I didn't even see Paxton in there. Looks like wow, he's got him at 2,800. I wasn't sure he was even in, but again, I haven't looked at this. But anyways, what you can look at, Skubal, Wu, and the stack. Who does it like? Not surprisingly, Giants in the blend. This is a blend of everybody else's variation. So it's called diversity. You can do a lot of crazy things in the pro settings, and I don't want to keep you guys for 2 days. There's so many things here to have access to for just the one price, 7 days for $1. JD Davis, I love this stack. Conforto, Jock, Peterson, Elway, J, and Brett Wisely is going to be cheap. He'll get you the ability to get some pitchers like Skubal and Wu. Again, they both, I don't know about Skubal. I've seen him mentioned he'll probably get some ownership. Wu definitely late night hammer. Giant stack, and then a Reds with McLean, and then a Tucker in Houston, probably going to be popular. 6,000, but he's playing the Rockies in Colorado. So, and then another player out of that game, Diaz. So there's a nice stack. I wanted to show you a little bit. I can hit 150 if I want to run a max 150 tonight on the 3 or the 15. I can run 5, whatever I want to run. Multiple lineups from each individual provider. The blend is 1. That's our proprietary secret sauce. 1. You can go here and look at Baker. They've simulated it 10,000 times, and they like Yoshida in Boston. Duran, it looks like you got a Boston Cleveland stack. Yeah, Cleveland again against those Pirates. Naylor, Jimenez, Rosario, Juan, and Ramirez. This is similar. Washington, or Ruiz was one of the players that was in that 3 stack of Washington last night. He was a catcher. I think he was the top performing. Only 3,300. Again, you can keep going. There's a different Giant stack: Bailey, Wade, Yacht, Conforto, Luis Matos, nice young rookie for the Giants. So, and then that stack is combining Nico Horner for the Cubs against Corbin. I'm not opposed to that, even with the wind blowing in. Hassan Kim. Anyways, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 with the blend, and then if you use the slider, you see the rest of them pop up. Sport Radar, Sports Data IO, all with pretty much their opinion on today's game. I do see some Giants, which is obvious. I'm sure there's another Giant stack with Reds. You're going to see Reds and Giants stack. Peace Sclafani. I mean, it could be that's where he pitched in Cincinnati. Depends on coming back from an injury. I think his foot again. Depends on how long a leash they give him. The Reds, the Giants bullpen's top. I mean, they have to rank in the top half. You get into the Rogers twins. You've got the identical twins. One's a lefty. One's the only true submariner. We talked about it yesterday when he throws like the ball's released inches off the ground. It's hard for players that don't see a lot of that to pick him up. And then they have this save leader, Camilo Doval. So if you get into the Giants bullpen, it's a little tougher. So if they get to Sclafani, that's probably why you won't see a lot of full-blown Red stacks, although the weather is conducive. I think the Giants are going to be really popular, along with probably, as you can see there, Houston against the Rockies. You got a Tucker, Penna, Bregman, Maldonado, the catcher, in that stack, and then they Walker against whoever. Now the pitcher, like Cabrera's on. I'm not sure who the Marlins are going to throw out. They're going to do one of those starters, right? What do they call them? A reliever starts the game, and then I have the longer reliever, but anyways, gives you an idea. I'll show you. Go back to where's one of these giants stack? Yeah, I like this one. Did you get Soto as an off guy? That's a really nice stack. Brown pitching. Ford Houston against Colorado. Not weather. I mean Brown. I don't know if I want to do that one. I want to do. I don't want Montgomery, although it doesn't mean they can't hit. There's Cabrera, but he's out. Let's just go with the Woo and see what happens. This is Ballpark Pal. Giants with De La Cruz. I wouldn't want to have to root for him. I'm going to slide over here. I'm going to go with this one. I like this one. And I'm just going to show you an example. We'll run 10. Going to run multiple lineups of that blend. I didn't set max exposure in the pro settings. I could have set it down to, whatever. It's at 100. I could have set it through a CSV file up there that can go into DraftKings. I could have set the max to have the same player 50%, 40, 60. Shows some of the lineup variations. I hit close. And there they are. It shows you. Before you decide if you want to upload that CSV to DraftKings or FanDuel, if you flip it over to FanDuel, it'll do the same thing. So there's some Boston. Who else is stacked? Braves. Yeah, never bad to get Braves. Look at that. You get Devers, Hobbies. But Devers is a Boston. If you get a cut, RPI, Akaya. For the Braves, you get Ozanu, Rosario, Harris. I'm not opposed to that. You get Reds and Giants here. You get Yankees and Rangers there. There's Harrison, Darth Bader. I was a big fan of Chris Berman. Remember when you go back. He had and he's a Giants fan. He had all those nicknames for the players that stuck with me. What's this one? That's not a Washington stack. No, Toronto. They were in Toronto. So you can see a lot of diversity. And it just depends on your objective. If you're playing, single, that's updating. I will let it update. If I'm looking at it. But if you're playing single lineups, stacking is risky. Could crush or you could get crushed. If your stack doesn't hit. If you're playing multiple, 30, 50, and a max 150 or all 150, and DraftKings allows you to do it now. I don't know if they do it with the 10-cent game. I think they do on either the quarter or the 50-cent. You can go max 150. The $3 mini max has gotten real popular. I would look sure tonight's probably 125,000 total, 15,000 on top. So the max $3 would be 450. Nice ROI if you hit it. They're really top weighted, so you have to hit it to get that kind of return. But I'm not advising anybody of anything in particular. This is a strategy, the stacking, with all the data. More than often, the stack strategy will win in giving you coverage, and this is for coverage. A lot of guys and gals, they play different. Some I've seen the same lineups, where they do duplicates and they try to throw them to where they'll place above the money line. My theory is the more coverage, it just takes one lineup, right? Out of all your lineup, that if it happens to be tonight, 14 game slate, it's not the easiest, but if it happens to hit, hey, it has a nice reward. I will throw the disclaimer. We don't guarantee any results. I've had great results. I've had some not so great results. We've had customers in the early going tell me they love it. If you happen to see somebody using FSL and a little logo thing and they win, that doesn't guarantee you'll win, but it shows it's possible. So total disclaimer on that. We are trying to build, the most value for the least amount of money and stickiness. And, we've got some great partnerships with people like drafters that allow you to, get some perks. There's a double deposit bonus if you go to drafters. They got player prop picks. They've got the best ball. They have fantasy contest, FSL, Fantasy Sports Logic 100. We'll get you a double deposit on the $100. So it'll get you 100 and then 100 credit. And then if you do the test drive again, you get for just doing the test drive, the $1, you get a $20 entry into their best ball. So I'll show you real quick here. Remember the player to pot of the day is who? Michael Conforto. If you DM me that after you like my Twitter post, then follow me and repost it. There's too much to ask for a free month of the optimizer and some personalized coaching. I would enjoy that. Let's see if it's going to show us the monthly update that I X'd out. So it might not give us the pro settings unless I reset it, which I can. Hold on, real quick. I want you to see. I think some people watch these videos and they probably copy down the lineups, right? You're getting free. If 100,000 people are watching it, you're all going to be the same. Encourage you to get a little different. Where was Paxson? What if they're thrown into one of the lineups? I checked that. I don't see who the Boston starter. He's been announced. Medina for looks like the Oakland. Yeah, check that. Paxson, I mean, he's going to be. He'll be highly owned. The A's are, like I say, struggling. Pro option. There you go. Shows you a variety of things you can do to get different. Talked about global max exposure. You want the lineups to be a little different, although you saw they were pretty diverse. But if you don't want the same person or the possibility, you can dial that down, dial up. You can minimum fantasy points. Obviously, the higher you want the players, the less diversity. And in baseball, I mean, you'll see, I didn't show, but a lot of the blends you'll see from high 90s team totals to 120. The winner's always in a 14-game slate. It's going to be probably 200, north of 200. And the reason being that these projection providers don't forecast that, even Ballpark Pal, is the probability. You saw there's some players 1 in 4 to hit a home run, but that means 3 in 4 they're not gonna. They hit a home run, they get 14 points on DraftKings. There's a runner on, they get 16. If there's 2 on, they get 18. If it's a grand salami, they get 20. And that'll happen. I guarantee you 100%. On a 14-game slate, there's going to be a home run. That might be the freak of nature, right? If all the games play right, you come back and say, you said 100%. Okay, high, close to 100%. I've never seen it happen, but it wasn't one. And there'll be pitchers that are projected at even 19 for Woo, Gabal, 23. Like last night, Pavetta for Boston. I don't know what his projection was. I got believe it was on maybe mid to high teens. He had 40-some points. I don't think anybody predicted he would go as long as he went. So you're going to have a pitcher pop occasionally, and guy that throws a shutout. If he does, that's pretty rare these days, but it happens. He's going to rack you up some points. I think Herman, when he had his no-hitter against Oakland a few weeks ago, he probably had 40. You get a shutout bonus, obviously a no-hitter bonus, but all the strikeouts combined. Pavetta had, I think he pitched 6 innings and had 13 strikeouts last night. So again, it led to the 42. Anyways, I've talked long enough. I appreciate all of you. I am going to end the video, post it on Twitter. Again, if you see it on Twitter, you see it on LinkedIn. If you watch this video, I'll make the post and you let me know, the first 3 that do that say, hey, it's Michael Conforto, I like your Twitter post, I reposted it, I follow you now on Twitter, and now you can unfollow me afterwards, or whatever. I'm still gonna give you the free month, so thank you. Let me do what I do in the recording.